What's going on, everybody? It's Austin Holloman back with another social studies review video. If you guys don't know what I mean by that, I've traveled to 24 countries around the world on five different continents. Been to 45 cities, and I've dated and lived in a good number of places. Well, I've dated in all of them except for the Philippines, but I've lived in maybe 4 or 5 places, let's say, right? I've been gone for 2 years, and I went back to the States actually for 3 weeks. But this entire time, this has been about 2 years. It'll be in October. So if you guys have not already, hit the like button on the video and subscribe. Those are both free, and it helps support the message and helps more people find out about this very important topic. Now, we will talk about something that a lot of people want to talk about. And I said before that passport bros were selling dreams. This is an extension on why I believe that. And we're going to talk about independent women. A lot of us want to get away from independent women. Now, for me, initially, I just wanted to get around chicks that had some common sense, because the chicks in the States are just, I mean, even if you want to hook up, I mean, that shit's like asking for too much. If you want a girlfriend, that's just, you guys are buying courses on how to deal with women, and honestly, I don't think those courses will work for you. I just don't see that. You're basically buying courses on how to tolerate bullshit, in my opinion. If you're dating in the States, like that's all that stuff comes out to be. And shout out to Steph is Cold. He brings that up. If you guys go subscribe to his channel as well, he brings that up. Like, yeah, I know it's hard out here, but I figured this out. Subscribe to his program, but just know that if you're doing what I'm doing, going outside the country, you have a way better shot at finding what you want. I'm never going to tell you guys that you won't find it. I'm just giving you guys the realities of things I've noticed. Now, for example, let's break down the independent woman. In the United States, I don't need a man. Pretty much at this point, they seem like they don't even want men to fucking exist. But they feel like if you want to pay the bills and support them financially and take them out of their job, that's controlling and misogynistic, blah blah blah. You guys get if you're in the United States, you know what I'm talking about, right? So if you go to other countries, you can find that still, or you can find it at a moderate level, or you may not find it at all, or at least it won't be the majority of women that you present that offer to. So I'm gonna talk about Brazil, number one. You guys know I have said Brazil in 5 to 10 years, it probably will be just like the United States when it comes to this independent woman thing. A lot of guys are like, oh, I'm going to Brazil to find traditional women. Are there traditional women in Brazil? Absolutely. Is that especially most of you guys are going to move to a big city like Sao Paulo, Rio, or Salvador. Is that the common thing you will find when you go to those cities? I'm going to tell you absolutely not. Okay, it's been a number of times I have dated women in Brazil. I've been knowing them for months on end. Some of them even almost this entire journey. One of them I met whenever I first moved to Salvador in November of 2022. I recently had to call it quits on that because for further reasons we'll get into and maybe in another video or on Patreon. But let me tell you guys this. A lot of you guys want to go down there and like, okay, my money multiplies by 5. I'm making 10 grand a month, which is 50. Even in the United States, 50 grand a month, you can take a woman out of her job and she can be barefoot and pregnant, per se, as American women like to say, which I don't think that's the reality that a lot of us are trying to put. We're not trying to lock these women in dungeons. But in Brazil, you will find a lot of chicks that if you say, hey, I want to take you out of your job and I want you to come live with me, we'll go on trips, I'll take care of everything, you are you're more likely to hear, no, I don't want to quit my job, I don't want to depend on a man. It doesn't mean that they won't live with you. It doesn't mean that they don't like you or love you. But they have that level of feminism where it's like, oh, that sounds like he wants to control me. Or I just, it's the same shit. Just not as extreme, but it's the same shit. So you will find trouble. And you guys know I speak from experience. I speak from experience. When you're in these Western countries, in the Western hemisphere, they may not be Western like a place like France or Canada or the United States, but they're still in the Western hemisphere. And I'm gonna tell you guys, they still have some of those influences that the United States has when it comes to feminism. So yes, you will have a problem projecting that offer onto a Brazilian chick. I offered once to Recife, Miss Recife, you guys have known her as, and she thought exactly what I just said. She thinks that's me trying to control her. I said that she was my girl. She thinks I'm objectifying her. So again, you can find that in Brazil, but any content creator that's telling you that all those women, or even more than 50% of those women, want to be stay-at-home moms, I mean, try it. Get on Tinder, get on Instagram, or if you're not there, go find it. Go project that offer to a Brazilian woman. Go project it and see what response you get. It's more than likely not going to be the one you want to hear. Now, is that every country in Latin America? No. I've not been to every country, but I've been to 8. So I feel like I have enough experience to speak on this topic. A place like Paraguay may be a better option. A place like Chile is not the best option. So in Latin America, you are less likely to find that than these other 2 places I'm about to bring up. The next one is Africa. If you guys go to Africa, I'm going to tell you right now, for the most part, the places I went to, the 7 countries I went to, and maybe the 13 cities I went to in Africa, those women are likely to do that. Why is that? Number one, the African men seem to still have them. They seem to still have control over that aspect of relationships. You guys seen recently in Kenya the whole she can take your 50%. They got rid that's not allowed in Kenya. That goes to show you what type of culture they have there. Now, if you go to Nairobi, I don't think you should probably look for a wife there anyway, because it's a lot of promiscuity and it may not be the safest option. That doesn't mean you can't find that in Nairobi, but it might not be the safest option if you go to Africa. But if there's other countries in Africa, if you go there and you tell a chick like, hey, I want you to be my girl. I want you to come stay with me. I know a few dudes that are doing this in Africa. The women live with them. The women serve them food every day. The women massage their feet. It's happened to me. Again, I'm speaking from experience. Okay? If you go to Africa and you want that stay-at-home mom, I can guarantee you more than 50% of whatever city you go to, more than 50% of those women they're accepting that offer if you throw it at them. And a lot more. That's why I love Africa. It's going to be a lot more that comes with that. Right? So they still have a service culture. They still cater to men in Africa. Honestly, if you're a Black American man watching this, Africa is your, if you guys want to ask me what's the safest, less bullshit place I should go to, Africa is going to be that place for you. It is what it is. Okay? In Africa, they have essentially what I like to call slaves, because they have somebody that lives on the property with them, that watches the kids, that cooks, that cleans, that it's like in the United States what we would call a house nigga, right? They have that during slavery times in the States. They still have that in Africa. They're not slaves, but I mean, if you ask me, they might as well be. So the fact that they have that there goes to show you what those cultures kind of operate like. There is a provider culture still in Africa. Now, you may have to pay dowries. I haven't gotten to that point yet, but I can just tell you guys based off my experience, this is a thing. Those women still cater to men. Those women still have the expectation for a man to fully provide. Just giving you the real facts. So that's another option. But if you guys go to a place, I've been to Southeast Asia. I've been to 4 countries, the Philippines, Vietnam, Cambodia, and I've been to 4 cities in Thailand. I went to 3 in the Philippines. Didn't date in the Philippines, though. But I do know, and the Philippines is a hot spot for men to get stay-at-home wives. Do they have feminism in the Philippines and in Southeast Asia? Yes, it's nowhere near as, the further east you go, the less. Okay, they have feminism in Africa, but that shit's not really catching no momentum from what I saw when I was there. Don't take it from people that haven't been there. You can go watch I have about 40 or 50 videos in Kenya, and I was in Tanzania for 5 weeks. And I went to many other countries, as I stated before. So I know what I'm talking about. Okay? Now, if you go to Southeast Asia, yes, you can find stay-at-home wives. But it is going to be very transactional. I don't care if you're Black, white, Asian. It is going to be very transactional. more than likely you're gonna have to pay. You're gonna pay for her entire living expense. You're gonna be the guy that pays for 100%, like the traditional stuff you're looking for. You're gonna have to pay for 100%, but you're also gonna have to pay her, and you're also gonna have to pay for her family. So just know that yes, she will be great, and she would do everything you want. I've seen it with my own eyes, but just get ready to shell out a lot of money if you go to Asia for that. So overall, and I've been to Europe as well, but I haven't projected that offer in Europe. I don't even think it would work in Europe. Maybe if you're in Eastern Europe, but I don't really see that working in Europe either. As far as let me be your provider, you just stay at home barefoot, stay at the house and just be up under me. That's not really happening. But in Africa and Asia, the whole submissive woman is still a thing. Very, very, very much still a thing. In Latin America, it's a thing, but I think it's the minority, especially depending on where you go. So let me know what you guys thought of that little breakdown that I just did. And if you guys are interested in specific countries that you should go to look for those treatments, and then the countries that I think that you should avoid, and I'll give you guys some more stories, click the link below and there will be a Patreon video, because I'm about to record after this video a longer video or an extension of this video on exactly where you should go so you guys can save a lot of time and headache if that's what you're looking for. I'm Austin Holloman, again, World Traveler. If you guys found that informative or entertaining, the Cash App is $ Austin Holloman, PayPal Austin Holloman at Gmail, Zelle is Austin Holloman Gmail as well. If you guys want a one-on-one coaching program where I teach you guys on a daily basis exactly what to do, click the link below. There will be a consultation. We can get on a call. It could be about dating, investing, getting a visa, anything about living abroad. The full blueprint will be below, and you can book a consultation call, and there will be a small fee for the consultation just so we know that we're getting serious inquiries. I love you guys. I will see you guys next time. Make sure you guys click the link below to watch the Patreon video.